think on my 21st birthday, I did my first powerlifting meet. I'm pretty sure. And then very shortly after that, I did a local strongman show. I think it was called the Kings of Kensington. And all my training partners that I had met, like Andrew, myself, and Ryan Vance, we were heavy, light, and middleweight, and we took first for all of them. It was a local show, though. You know what I mean? Like local shows are kind of, they're small, right? So it was fun, though. It like got me hooked right away. I mean, it's my second show in like 2 years, and yeah, you know, just try to come into it with a good attitude. My back sucks right now, so I went and saw my coach, and he kind of took me through a dynamic warm-up, did a little bit of massage. I don't think I'm going to pull anything very big today, but you know, just get out there and have some fun. So, well, yeah, it's important, but no, it's not important at the same time. I don't know really how to explain it. So I got into it initially because of work, and work was creating all these asymmetries in my body, specifically my back. It almost looked like I had scoliosis because of the way you lift the sheets typically uncomfortable. So I started training to kind of like to undo these imbalances that were giving me like the worst back pain. And I've never had like a herniated disc or anything like that, but evened it out with like, you know, I'd go on bodybuilding.com and like check stuff out. Just gradually kind of worked my way into like learning how to build stability and, you know, keep things symmetrical in the body. And then from there, it kind of developed a little bit further. So it was initially just work related. And also, I was tired of being skinny, man. I was 140 pounds when I started. It was bad. And I'm like 230 right now, and I'm still not even that big. Specifically with strongman, Andrew had suggested that I leave World Health and start coming to a real powerlifting gym. So the powerlifting gym was called Remington's Gym, and it was like, used to be called Destination Perfection. It's got like a long history, you know, this gym is like old. It's closed down now, and a lot of the magic is gone, but like, man, it has a good history. But that was where I met a guy named Keith Rathwell, and I remember seeing this old guy with a big belly, and he'd always be benching, and he had these strongman shirts on. And Andrew was really interested in strongman, so I kind of piqued my curiosity. So I was like, how do I do that? Like, where do you guys train and whatever? And he was like, oh, just come with us on the weekend. And we always used to go to this place called Low Cost Storage, and it's just a storage locker in a parking lot. We just lift some old rusty stuff, you know, like, and I was weak too. I was real small and young, but you know, you're interested and it's exciting and it looks cool. So you just kind of get started however you can. And that's how almost everybody in this sport trains, like in a parking lot, in a garage, in a basement, you know, like it's just how it goes. It's really cool like that too. There's no fees, no membership. And it's like real manly, you know, because it's just some junk that you left. It's really cool like that. Any gym you go to is going to have a barbell and a squat rack. And if it doesn't, it's not a real gym. And you know, you can train powerlifting anywhere, just as long as they got some plates and a bar and a squat rack, like you're good to go. And you know, and bench and whatever. But now, you know, diversifying into strongman and everything, and also having shoulder problems, I don't bench anymore, so I'm more into the strongman thing. But I like powerlifting still too. Deadlifting's cool, you know. Squatting's cool. I just hate benching. You can't just live a normal lifestyle and be a strongman. Like, you have to eat on schedule. You don't have to supplement. A lot of my friends don't take any vitamins or anything, but you know, I feel like it's good to have some fish oil and some, you know, omega-3s in your diet and some fiber. So if you're eating way too much bread, you know, if you can't get anything out, you can't get anything in, you know what I mean? So like, literally, you have to pay attention to little stuff like that every day. Like, there's a shake that I have every day, and it's 30 milligrams of chia seeds, 30 milligrams of flax seeds, and grams, and 30 grams of oatmeal, and you blend it into a powder and then put in 1 scoop of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting, and I don't like to do it, but I chug it every single day, and it's like, yeah, that's part of my lifestyle, I suppose.
Can you just keep going, couple extra feet? There it is.
It's an individual sport, but there's a sense of like community within the sport. You know, like, I'm against you kind of thing, but we're still like, we still egg each other on and still help each other. Like, I'm never gonna do anything to make sure that you can't do what you can possibly do. Like, you're always gonna make sure that your fellow competitors are the best they can be, so that, you know, you can try and, you know, you want them to be their best so that you can see if you can kind of better them. But it's a friendly atmosphere, you know. That's like, I think that's the best thing about it. And besides that too, the eating, man, you can eat as much as you want as a strongman. You don't have to watch your diet at all. Sweet. I went hard for 4 years and I just destroyed myself. So yeah, my motivation was like right in the dumps. But after 2 years of being on my, well, the motivation is back. Like, I don't want to be there anymore. It comes and goes, you know? So it's one of those things that you're gonna have to kind of take it as it goes and go by day. But every day is a new day, you know what I mean? And yeah, motivation can be a big problem sometimes. And sometimes it's not at all. Like sometimes you're just rearing to go, you know? Like today, I can't wait to get out there. But sometimes I show up at a show, I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over. And everyone's like, why you got that attitude? I'm like, I don't know, man. I just wanna go eat. Let's go eat. But yeah, I think it's like that for everybody in every sport. If you train really hard and if you're on it all the time and it's like literally you live, eat, and breathe it, you get burnt out. So you need to take a break sometimes. So I feel like that's a lot of what the off season is for. And if you find a balance, that's healthy, you know? And you should probably strive to find that balance. As you come closer to the show, you drop down the volume and you kind of like, you know, you work a little bit more on specific stuff, like make sure that your movement pattern is high quality, you know? Make sure that your rehabilitation and your symmetry is good, you know what I mean? Like so that you're walking in there with like a good working body, you know what I mean? Like that's the most important thing. Leading up to the show, you gotta be more and more careful and conscientious of what you're doing and almost like drop down the amount of work that you're doing. And then having 3 shows in a row, so it's almost like I have a show every week for the next month kind of thing. I don't really know how to deal with that, to be honest, so I haven't trained very much, but I'm just gonna wing it, see what happens. But I'd like to pull like 730 in the next 12 months. I'd like to get my overhead up past 300 again and stay at about 230. So those are like some pretty basic goals, you know? Like, I don't really wanna get into too much more than that because there isn't much more than that. And also just like, you know, be healthy. Work on my conditioning a little bit, you know, like feel in good shape, you know, feel like when you wake up, don't have this like, oh, everything hurts, or like, oh, I feel like trash today, or I ate too much, or whatever. I just want to feel like in good shape, and then also be able to perform at any given time, no matter what the situation is. And like, you know, having the sponsorship from my company HMI, and then also having like support from my friends and family, and my sobriety, and all that stuff, like I'm on the right track. But I mean, shoot for the moon and you might just hit it, you know? You know, I've never really done that bad in almost any shows. The worst placing I've gotten in my life was Western Canada's Strongest Man. I was like middle of the pack. I think I got 8th place out of 16 guys as the lightest competitor and like heavily injured. So I was really unhappy with that performance. But I mean, like, look, I was the lightest guy in the show. I was an addict at the time as well. And like against all odds, I still finished 8th. So I remember that was when my knee was doing really bad too. And they put me underneath this motorcycle stacked with oil and all kinds of, and it was supposed to weigh about 600 pounds. I got 5 reps. I didn't think I was gonna get 1 rep. So like the whole show was like whatever. I zeroed the farmers. I didn't really place that well. But that event was like the crown jewel of my whole day, right? Because I literally came in there, couldn't bend my knee, and I somehow squatted 600 for 5. But I mean, it was on an apparatus. It's put your feet out and it changes the angle of everything. It was really cool. But yeah, man, like I said, it's a really like push and pull, take and give kind of thing. It's not like cut and dry, like, oh, you know what I mean? It feels really good to win. You know what? It feels really good to come second to somebody who is amazing too. Like, it doesn't really feel that different for me. As far as like your own personal performance at the show, I feel like say I won King of the Valley last week. It was like not a win though, you know, because the guys didn't show up. So it's like a hit and miss thing. I like to gauge myself like on my past performances, and then also on my current competition, like how do they do, you know, and I stack myself against that way. So a win is a win, you know, and you'll take it for what it is, but it's not the most important aspect of the show at all. Like you should probably be a little bit more open to being self-critical and like, you know, criticize yourself a little bit, because I mean, a champion's never happy with where they're at. That's like the mindset of somebody who's really driven and insane and obsessed, right? It's like, I've never met a champion who was balanced, not once. I'm in a really good position now where my boss, he sees the sport keeping me clean, and it makes me happy, and I'm really good at work because of it. Like I'm on all the time, you know? I'm super jacked all the time, and he loves it, right? So he's now giving me a budget of $3,000 a year to fly around to shows. So I'm super humbled by it. I didn't even ask. He was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for you, because I told him I have a dream. I would like to make it to World's Strongest Man once in my life. I don't even care if I come dead last. Just to be in the same group as those guys would be sweet. So, yeah, man, I don't even know what else to say about that, but that's the best thing that's happened to me in a long, long time. The last show that I did, I failed a 675 deadlift, which is not normal for me, especially after, you know, having been at this like almost 700 for a triple range. So it's like mentally, that's really tough to deal with. But that's something you're gonna have to deal with as an athlete. You're gonna have good times and bad times. You're gonna have highs and lows. Like progress is not linear. You don't just go like this, you know what I mean? You drop down, come up, you'll tear this, and then your overhead's really good, you know what I mean? So whatever, it's not that big a deal, I suppose. If it happened, it would be like almost every other show I won, where I came in and did not expect anything good to happen, and it just came out that way. Just fluke. I got a medal. I got 80 bucks in my underpants right now. You know, things went pretty good. I can't believe it. It was good. And just to see everybody, that was the coolest part of the day. Like the show, yeah, the lifting, yeah, the events, yeah, how everything went, yeah, whatever. But like to like reconnect with people I haven't seen in a year was like electric, you know? Every time I saw a new, not a new face, but like somebody else I hadn't seen, it was like, hey, and you know, it was almost like, that was the coolest part, is just reconnect with old friends, you know, like, and that's like a big deal for me. It's like, that's almost like the more important part of it. It's just a lot of fun, right? You're gonna go eat with these guys after. I'm gonna go to OJ's and we're gonna get fat together. It's gonna be fun. And the lifting thing too, like even when you see a new guy and he's like, it's not lifting a lot of weight, but it's a good fight, you know? The set was a good fight. He's struggling to get it up and he nails it, or like tries and fails. It's like, you always give him a pound and be like, that was a good set, man, you know? It's not about the individual a lot of the time. It's more about like everyone else, you know? It excites you, and that's more or less like what you get high off of. It's like gives you endorphins, like to watch someone else struggle for like an overhead. It's like, whoa, you know, oh, I get so tense, I start yelling. It's too much fun, right? Like I can't stop. And it's like if I have a problem with moderation, this is a really good direction to point it in, because it's a healthy outlet, I find. The show starts and everything, and like my heart's racing. This is the second show I've been in a long time. These guys haven't seen me compete in 2 years. I've had big problems in the last 2 years, but I'm on the up and up, and things are going really good. And I feel like I pulled a rabbit out of the hat today. I felt like really good about it, but it was exactly what I planned. I thought I was going to get top 5, and I got top 3, and basically right, exactly what I said I was going to get. So couldn't have gone better, I don't think. And I finished top 3 against some of the best guys in Western Canada, which is great. And they're buddies of mine. It was like family, you know, everybody's like, hey, 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 everywhere I go. It was like I couldn't even get away from these people. It was so much fun. So I had a good day. The start sucked, but the finish is awesome. So that's all I have to say about that part of this day. Sandbag, I really thought it was gonna be easier on the shoulder than it was. Somebody was like, your core is gonna get tired. I'm like, nah, my core is gonna be fine. I was like, well, my core got really tired after like the 4th touch to the line. And I really didn't expect that, but I didn't train that sandbag very much. I didn't train these events very much. Like I only get to Anytime Fitness 3 times a week, and then I get to train events once or twice a week, and then I go to that Canada Games pool about once a week. So I go to 3 different gyms, and I only get to train events once a week. And to me, that's not enough. I would like to get 2 days a week in. The medley, I can't believe how well that went too. I haven't really trained very much diversity on my overhead, but that log really screwed with me. The diameter was so large that I couldn't really get up at first because I'm so used to a smaller diameter. So it's usually closer to me where I can throw my hips. I'm just not used to it being that far away from me as it rolls up your chest. But I got it anyways. It was not too heavy. It wasn't a heavy show. It really wasn't. So I'm glad I didn't get injured. That was the #1 goal, and I'm not hurt. So I'll be at work on Monday on time, in shape for work. I can't believe I pulled 675 after failing last week. Typically, you cannot get any stronger maxing out on a deadlift the next week. It just doesn't happen. But I think one of the big factors was the Texas bar. Also, I took my shoes off, and also I left the straps a little loose. So the Texas bar bends a little bit more than the Ohio bar. The straps a little loose, made the bar a little lower. The shoes off, made the bar a little lower. So I literally gave myself every advantage I could on that. And I grinded it out, and I just called it there. I'm not gonna try 700. That one was a pretty shaky grinder, so I'm pretty happy with it. And it was intelligent, because if I tried the 700, it would have taxed me, and that would have put me back on all the other events. So you have to be strategic like that. If you know that was it, you know when to hold them, when to fold them. I said that earlier today, and I just totally that was it. That was it right there. The farmers went pretty good. The only way I caught up was when Nolan stumbled with the farmers. He was kicking. I thought he was going to win the whole show. And then the farmers and the stones got him. It's like, it's just how it goes. Those are sometimes like some guys' events. Psychologically, it was a real big win for me, because I had my doubts, right? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And I came in here with a sore back, hungry and tired, but it all worked out, you know? Like, you can't control everything. And like, all you can control is your reaction to things that happen to you, right? You can't control what happens to you sometimes. You know, it's fine. Training in adversity is a big deal for me, because when you run into days like this, they'll be okay, you know? Nothing's perfect, and you gotta accept that for what it is. Just be positive and just, you know what I mean? Figure all that stuff out, point yourself the right direction, and good things will happen. You have bad thoughts, you focus on bad things, you focus on the past, you focus on the future. Just focus on the now, do what you can, you know? Like, there's nothing more you can do, literally. And if you live in the past, well, you're just gonna lose tomorrow. And if you live in tomorrow, well, you're just gonna be stressed out all the time. So just be here now and just have fun, right? If you haven't been in a show for a long time, and you know, you expect a lot out of yourself, and everybody expects a lot out of you, it's like really stressful. It's a high pressure thing. Because you know, everybody knows about all the struggles I've had. And when you come back, they're paying attention, like, how is he gonna do today? And I feel like I really did about as well as I should have done. Like, I'm happy with it. Yeah, today couldn't have gone better. For how it started, it finished really well. And I mean, I have to thank my coach, Luke. Luke Remington has like taken me from start to finish. I walked in at his gym at 175 pounds, and I had gained 30 pounds already. He like turned me into a like really good strongman and powerlifter. And it was just advice, you know? And he's like, I've not taken some of his advice, and it's completely blown up in my face. So now every time he tells me something, I follow his advice, because he knows what he's talking about. He's been in the game, he's destroyed himself, he's made all the mistakes that a young man makes. And I've been through it too now, so I get it, I understand. And I have him to thank. So thank you, Luke, I appreciate it. You did me some good today. if you're well-rounded, you should do pretty well. And I guess that's exactly what I played on today, is I'm well-rounded. I didn't win anything, but I came in top 3, so it was all right. So my name is Paul Binette, and that's what it takes. And you can find me on YouTube. I'm not on any other social media right now. So thank you for watching, and have a good day. Train hard.